talked about Tony Muskett yesterday. He's number 4 on your list as we get to the top 5 Virginia players to watch. So he's number 4 on your list. Let's break down the rest because we've talked a lot about Tony Muskett, transfer quarterback from Monmouth to replace Brennan Armstrong, who I guess traded up to NC State. That's where he transferred to. We'll break down the rest on your list, and it's 4 Downs brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning.
4 Downs. 4 questions. 4 answers. The Dave Hooker Show.
4
Downs. A presentation of OffTheHookSports.com.
So exciting it is football time, isn't it? Man,
Love
it's
it.
good time. Good time. So we know about Mr. Muskett. He transferred from Monmouth. He's average at best, but he won a lot of awards at the FCS level. So good for him. He's number 4 on Caleb's list that you can check out on offthehooksports.com. Let's break down the other 4 on 4 Downs brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. Support our sponsors. 50 years in service there in East Tennessee. Integrity matters. City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. So Cooper, get us started. What should people do?
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
Thank you. What down, Coop?
Coop here. First down.
Nailed it. All right. So number 5 on your list, I said it was number 4, was Cohen King, cornerback. UVA's best cornerback, Anthony Johnson, is gone. And Cohen King is going to have a long day on Saturday, as I'm sure the Vols will go after him. He's the number 1 cornerback in the spring, but I will go ahead and tell you, he ain't seen nothing like he's going to see on Saturday with Tennessee's offense.
Well, even if you adjust for talent relativism, which is UVA versus Tennessee, if you think Tennessee has issues at cornerback, you don't even realize the issues that Virginia has at cornerback right now.
Yeah, just imagine. Okay, you know what Tennessee is like when the year after they lost Alontae Taylor. So they weren't great. What Virginia is like, excuse me. They weren't great in the secondary, but then they lost their best player in the secondary. That's exactly what Virginia is like.
If Tennessee is the division in America now, UVA is the division in America during the Civil War. Okay, let's just go there. Like, that's their cornerback situation right now. And so Cohen King moved from safety to start at cornerback. Played sparingly at safety last year. Unless it's Jason Allen who demanded that he move back to cornerback. Dave, how often does a safety move to cornerback work out? That usually is a desperation move, right?
Totally. They're usually not as shifty, don't have as good of hips. 99 times out of 100, that is a desperation move.
Yes. And so I say watch for him because he's the one guy that they're really relying on in the secondary this year. But he's either going to surprise us all or Tennessee's going to torch him.
Yeah, Tony Muskett at number 4. We talked about him, 3-year starter at Monmouth, completed 64% of his passes for 5,600 yards, but he hasn't played at this level. And what down is it, Coop?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
Malik Washington at wide receiver. Why should Tennessee fans be aware of Malik Washington?
So Malik Washington played at Northwestern over the last 2 years. Went over 500 yards both times. Last year, he had 65 catches for 694 yards. And quite honestly, playing in that system and playing against Big Ten competition, that's not actually a bad stat line at 5'9", 192. If he is Virginia's only weapon. He is their only offensive weapon in that period, at running back or receiver or tight end. He's all they got. So they're going to try to get him the ball. And given Tennessee secondary issues, you might see him sneak out and do something dangerous every now and then. I mean, I guess you could call him their Squirrel White. I don't know. But he's going to sneak out into open space, and they're going to try to make some plays for him. So they just got – he's the one guy they got to watch out for on offense.
So Tennessee has Squirrel White. Then I guess that would make Malik like rat yellow. Bit of a reach. What down, Coop?
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
Cam Butler at defensive end. Should Tennessee be concerned about him?
Yes, I do. Cam Butler, Chico Bennett, who was their star edge rusher, is out. He had 7 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss last year. Cam Butler was actually the higher graded edge rusher. As you know, Dave, like edge rushers, it's really hard to quantify in sacks and tackles for a loss because it depends on which side teams run to a lot of times during a season. Cam Butler is going to be a bigger threat. Tennessee has some questions on their offensive line, as we know, particularly at tackle. So, yes, they need to keep an eye on Cam Butler.
All right. What down, Coop, as we look at the player, the number one player that Tennessee fans should keep an eye on Saturday in Nashville, which bothers me. It should be in Neyland Stadium. Nevertheless.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
All right. Who should Tennessee fans keep an eye on? Caleb, who's number one on your list?
It's Aaron Fwimi. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Please don't come at me if I get it wrong. My massive apologies. Fwimi. Okay. Oh, French.
I just made that up.
Oh, okay. He is the guy that kind of makes everything go for the defensive line last year. And Dave, you know, you can attest how difficult this is. He got 8.5 tackles for a loss and 4 sacks. That's pretty impressive for an interior defensive lineman, quite honestly. And he's going up against the Tennessee offensive line that is without its starting center and has massive questions at left guard. So he could make some plays up front. So just watch out for him.
So out of these players, other than Musket, who has to have the biggest game for UVA to keep this close?
It's got to be Malik Washington, obviously. Because again, the defensive line can only do so much against this offense, as you know, Dave, because eventually they're going to hit the deep shot, and they have no options in the secondary outside of Cohen King. So the only thing they can try to do is try to score with the Vols, and Malik Washington could score with them. And so it's got to be Malik Washington.